And into the north we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast, Into the North. As always, it's your boy Don the Jeweler. And out there in friendly Winterpeg, Manitoba, as soon as your man buys that wine, he just creeps up from behind and asks you what your interests are, who you be with, things to make you smile, what numbers to dial. He's Corey Chantastic. What's up, Playboy?
What's going on there, brother? What's going on?
Good.
How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm not going to waste another second. Part 2 of our interview with Patrick Lehman. You ready?
I'm born ready, bro. Let's get on this.
Let's get to it. Part 2, right now. Let's go.
Yo, so onto a little bit more of a serious question right now. I've heard you've been very, very vocal about a battle you were involved in against SOCAN, I believe it's called, right?
Yeah, SOCAN is it's a song. It's basically they collect money for songwriters and publishers in Canada, all over the world, not just in Canada, but all over the world. Because when someone song is recorded and played on the radio, whatever, the writers have to get paid, or whoever created that song has to get paid. So that's what they do basically.
So my question is what was that like battle with them all about, and how can you aspire artists like new artists to avoid complications like that you faced with that?
You know, like if someone's coming up, what do they need to know about the this side of the world that maybe they could try to duck?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you asking it too, because a lot of people don't know.
This is for fun, but there's real shit in the world, and you know what? Like you're dedicated to your craft. There's a lot of people out there who are probably dedicated to their craft that run into issues like this. If you want to make a living off of something,
all the time.
You guys need to be paid for that.
It happens all the time.
For sure,
it happens all the time. And I've personally spoken to lawyers who have had multiple cases against the same publisher, but in any case, for the same exact thing. The issue I was having with SOCAN was that in 2013, the album I did just before Butchie's Son, G.O.A.T Rock Radio in Montreal, which is also one of the biggest, I think, if not the biggest rock radio station in the entire country. Took a chance on my song, Come Together. It ended up getting in the top 40 of the rock chart in Canada that year.
That's badass.
But at the time, that publisher wouldn't take my calls, I would literally show up to the office and be sitting for like 2 hours, and they wouldn't come out to meet me. I'd have to leave. Like, just terrible. Anyway, I was basically just, it's a long story, but we kind of had a bad ending in that publisher. But the point is that song Come Together earned about like $3,000 or $4,000 just from being played on one radio station show. Okay. Which I'm like forever grateful, and I'll tell you why, is because a lot of people discovered me from that being played so much on that one radio station, right? And that one radio station is like one of, if not the biggest one in the country. So it's important. I never saw one penny of those royalties, and I'll tell you why. Because SOCAN, who collects those, who is also the only one in the country that does that. There isn't like a ton of companies, organizations. There's them and then another smaller one, I believe. But SOCAN's pretty much the only one.
Wow.
They were sending the checks for those royalties to that publisher. The problem is that publisher still doesn't have 1% of that song Come Together. So SOCAN was sending every penny of the money that one song was earning, sending it to my old publisher, cashing the checks. So I've never seen a penny from, which is like, that's not, at the same time, like I've never gotten into this for being a millionaire. Like the chances of that happening when you're in music are so slim. Like, you do it because you love it. And the reason why I'm saying it now, and the reason why I spoke up about it on my social media, was because it continues to happen. And like you're saying, there are a lot of I'm 38. There's a lot of kids who are 20 years younger than me, 18. They're getting into this. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they know more than me about publishing. Who knows? But at the time, I didn't. I was 23 years old. I signed that contract. I signed away my rights, which is power of attorney. That's what it's called.
Okay.
So that was silly of me because I was so young. But long story short, SOCAN, who collects the money for songwriters, wrongfully sent those royalties to this publisher. And to this day, that's never been rectified. And I've tried to take meetings with SOCAN, and I still have to work with them because they still collect.
Do you still deal with these guys?
If I make music and I want to collect royalties from it, which we're talking about like 0.08 of a penny, okay? Like when you listen, we're not talking about, millions and millions of dollars here, but anyway, I still have to work with SOCAN. They still will not hear my claim, or they will not sit with me and talk about it. So that's basically the story. And again, like I said, the reason why I came out with it and talked about it, and that was also too like heavy on my mind during that time, because it'd been years that have passed, since that happened. It was 2013. But when you're fucked over like that, it kind of sticks with you. And I know I sound bitter, and for a long time I was bitter.
You have every right to be, man. What's right is right. Like, fuck that.
Like, what do you blame? Like,
you know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's just it's hard when you work really hard at something, and you don't get a lot of handouts, and and then someone takes something from you. And from the beginning, we were supposed to be working together from the beginning anyway. So anyway, I don't think that organization necessarily always has the best interests of the songwriters, but they make a whole lot of money.
Well, when you're like the only organization that does that, right?
Yeah.
But also when you're the only
organization. And don't get me wrong, there's a ton. It is a good organization. We need them, and they do a lot of good work for songwriters. Okay. But what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And when you're if you are going to work for 2 weeks or for a month, and then at the end of that month, your paycheck gets sent to the guy who used to do the job or whatever. That's, anyway, so that's it. And I speak up about it because I was scared for a long time. And that's what people like that want you to feel, especially when you're young. They want to put fear in you, so that you won't speak up about it or whatever. But there's a lot of young kids making music, and they need to know. There are just people out there who will try to take advantage of them. And I'm just one of a million people that it happened to. I mean, this is not a new experience. Mm-hmm. But if anyway, I felt like I needed to speak up about it because I'm a big person of what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. If something is happening that's wrong, you gotta speak up.
Hey, SOCAN.
So that's it.
SOCAN, smarten the fuck up.
Yeah, SOCAN.
Smarten the fuck up, SOCAN. Nah, man. Yo,
listen,
SOCAN's trying to scare you. What are they gonna do? Not pay you? They're not paying you anyways. Fuck them. Smarten up, SOCAN. Get it together.
Well, I mean, they do pay me for every other song.
Well, nah.
But for that song specifically, for the years that I was with that publisher, I never saw one penny.
That's crazy.
That's not right. I'm sorry. And I have to say, I created the artwork. I wrote the song.
Oh.
I produced the song. We mixed the song, me and the engineer together. I own the copyright. Like, there's no reason why I shouldn't have seen. You know what I mean? So, but that publisher was pissed because we'd worked together in the past. I didn't want to hand over all my songs to her. I only wanted to work, for a few, and then and she had a chip on her shoulder. And she had a really good friend who worked at SOCAN. That woman no longer works there. Anyway, so it's a really tricky situation. But I'm not looking. I don't think I'll ever see a dime of that. But what I do feel like was important is that the truth comes out, and then it's happened to other people before, and that younger songwriters know that they're gonna have to work with these organizations, and people should speak up if something goes wrong, because if not, it's just gonna keep happening, right? So
for sure.
So that was it. Yeah.
For sure.
And I have to say too, they're a great organization, and they've done a lot of good. But that one instance that just happened to me, wasn't right.
No, for sure, definitely not. Right. Man. That wasn't right at all.
Well, when it if it ever does get rectified, first round of drinks are on Pat Lehman. We're gonna fly out to Winnipeg, pick up Corey.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Right on.
Perfection. Well, I mean, it's an expensive lesson, but it's learned, and going forward, you know better, and hopefully anybody watching this who deals with SOCAN, who doesn't know what they're in for, if they have something, because think about it, like for an independent act, that's a pretty big blow up, top 40 in Canada, and and that's not impossible to reach for honest, most people. Like most people may not get that success even, but that is, that was an obtainable goal, and for the next guy who gets that type of success, or girl or whatever, they're not going to walk into some stupidity because they signed a bad contract when they were a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're saving lives out here, Pat.
I mean, I think. Look, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that I was young. Nobody in my family was in the music industry or entertainment. I mean, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know lawyers. I didn't know anybody who, I was just very green, and that's it. I mean, I just, you learn, you live and you learn. I will say though that a year after I got out of that contract, I got nominated for a Juno. So within a year, I was able to do more for myself than that publisher did for me in 6 years. So
that's great, man.
That says something too a little bit, right? So
that's
I mean,
huge.
Anyway,
that's huge.
You know what?
That's
it's not. I was, I really was upset about that for many years, but people have been through so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm so lucky.
It could have been a lot worse, man. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse. You're glad you got it when you did.
And you know what? I went on to do other things. I'm going to keep making more music. So, it's more, what do they call it? Like, it's a story to learn from. Basically.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's literally a live and learn situation, man. You've learned and it'll never happen again. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're way more wiser because of it, man. So that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but anyway, the reason why is
we say it on Into the North.
I finally did get a sit-down meeting with that publisher, and I got her on recording. I taped her admitting that she had done nothing for my career in 6 years, that she could have done more, but she chose not to. She even said at one point that my dad had just died. She at one point at the end of the meeting said, I can feel your dad's spirit with us. Because she had said, by the end of the 2-hour meeting, she had tried to convince me to re-sign with her.
Of course.
And she even said, I can feel your dad's spirit in the room, and I think that's what he would want for you. At that point, I'm like, okay, this is nuts.
I hope you came up with your most creative curse words you could come up with in that moment. Like, just string together a 50-hit combo.
Right.
Like...
No, you know what I did? I took that recording to my lawyer.
Nice.
And I got out of that contract very quickly after.
Good.
And then that woman who I was dealing with from SOCAN, all of a sudden that same month didn't work for SOCAN anymore.
Oh.
You think she ever existed?
Oh.
Well, I've met her because she sat at my table at the Junos.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like she didn't rainmake you?
She sat at my table at the Junos, and when the weekend won, she looked at me and laughed and said, tough category.
Oh, fuck.
And I am not making this. I'm not making this.
And these are paid employees in your service. You're paying these people
for telling this story because it is insane. And you know what? This is just a blip. This is one tiny experience of one artist. This happens every day, man, to people. I mean, look what happened. Remember TLC, man?
Absolutely.
They didn't see a penny of that first album. Like, they got screwed royally. So I mean, look, it's not an original story, but it happens.
Waterfalls had more spins than Despacito. Like,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. But you know what? I realized in that situation too is that bad things can happen. You can get screwed. But I can still sing. I can still write songs. I can write about it.
Yeah, you can.
I can talk about it.
Exactly.
It's not illegal to talk about,
Exactly.
So.
Oh, for sure, man.
You live, you learn.
That story on Into the North.
That bitch tried to take my money.
It's like it could be a movie, man. But yeah. Anyway, it's
on
crazy.
to the next chapter, obviously, right? You've moved on from that. You've been doing what you've been doing. Cool. You got this new album out. It's going pretty good. I would say. Not too bad at all.
Let's get to the next question. Speaking of albums, what are the top 5 R&B albums of all time?
What are your top 5 R&B albums of all time?
That's a good question.
That's why I wrote it.
That's a tough one. You could have went with artists, but
I was thinking about this one a lot. So I'm probably gonna say, I mean, it's kind of stupid to say greatest hits, right? But for me, I started with a lot of artists like on their greatest hits, and then anyway, I don't know if I can do like a this is 5, this is 4, this is 3. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
I'll
fine.
just
Just
give
name
my
name
5.
five. Yep, name five.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Of your personal
Voodoo by
favorites?
D'Angelo.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Voodoo by
Nice.
D'Angelo.
Nice.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I probably would put that. That's number 1 for me. I'm trying to Angie Stone, her first album was really good. Like a lot of, for me, when I was in high school, neo soul was kind of like there was a time when that was
The Erykah Badu's and the Maxwells and the
yeah,
Music Soul
exactly,
Child
yeah, and that was like kind of that really, I don't know, that really grabbed me at that time. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, I love that album. I'm trying to think of like an oldies. What do I have? I think I have 4 now, right? I need one more.
Yep.
Man, who? I'm trying to picture my old CD collection. You know what? Intervisions by Stevie Wonder.
Ah, there you go.
Intervision.
Does Thriller count as an R&B album, or is it just the biggest album ever and we just leave it? It's above these
man. There's like
it's pop. It's
pop.
Man.
Some people say, pop. Some people say like even disco, even some R&B. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's got a mix of some stuff though. Like you can kind of hear
For
different
sure.
genres of music in it. I'll give him that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great album though. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that's 40 this year. I think.
Intervisions.
Thriller.
Yeah.
Oh, Thriller.
No, Thriller.
Yeah.
I believe so.
40 years.
It's gotta be 40.
Off the Wall
yeah.
was 80, and I think Thriller was like 80, maybe 83. Not entirely sure.
I don't know. But speaking of posters, I just saw a poster that's 40 years this year.
That's awesome, man.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't. Would you have those? Do you have a general idea of what your top 5? Like, if you had to put like the official rankings up, like my personal 5. And these are ones I like, but I think they're in the conversation for the best of all time. Is 12 Play.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we're removing R. Kelly from everything, but 12 Play is still an incredible album.
Yes.
Confessions by Usher. I think maybe the most complete R&B album of all time. Crazy, Sexy, Cool by TLC.
Yeah.
These are all very personal to me, but Bodyguard soundtrack. Because I Have Nothing is maybe the greatest song in the entire world.
You know what? I was actually just that is still the best selling soundtrack of all time.
Really?
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Titanic, I'm sure, is up there.
Yeah, you probably right.
Yeah. But because Bodyguard, it's like, it's all dope Whitney songs. And like, I Will Always Love You was the massive hit, but I Have Nothing is one of the most soulful, just gut wrenching. From the second you hear the first do 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 do, I feel my heart breaking immediately. It's the millionth time I've heard the song.
Yeah, no doubt.
And a Canadian, David Foster, was the one who did all the music, I think, for that album.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then a lot for music. You know what? I will say, not an album, but Babyface, man. Babyface was huge for me back in the day because so all those soundtracks, like remember Columbia House, my parents had, we had Bodyguard soundtrack, we had whatever, all the soundtracks. Babyface was writing all of those songs for those women, for a lot of those big R&B artists.
Mariah.
And yeah, man, he is like, that was like one of my heroes, really, because for R&B, like, because he was producing it, he was writing it, and these were hits, man.
Yeah,
he's putting out hits for TLC, Houston, everybody who's in that Arista.
LaFace Records was him and L.A. Reid, and they made like that whole generation of hits. Like,
oh, that's right, it was them too, eh? I forgot about that, man. Actually, shit,
LaFace.
Awesome, man. For me, one of my biggest like R&B artists back in the day would have been like Keith Sweat, man. There's something about that man, bro. He could sing and get a woman's panties wet just like that. I don't know. It was like, yo, it was good. It was good shit. It was good shit. Love that, man.
It's fantastic.
He was good. He was good.
Keith Sweat, I don't know. Well, he was in LSG, right? And LSG has a lot of hits. Too.
A ton.
It's just they're not ones that jump off the page. It's not like you mentioned Twisted. Oh yeah, I know that's by Keith Sweat.
For sure.
LSG has a lot of wicked ones too.
Yep. Absolutely.
Do you have one that you put up there as the best of all time, Pat?
A song?
The album, R&B album. Intervisions, I guess.
Yeah.
Songs of the Key
No,
of Life.
I would say miseducational Lauryn Hill. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of hip hop too because she raps on it, but I think it's considered an R&B album more. That's more an R&B.
Yeah, but I mean,
I would definitely say that is.
I mean, TLC raps on their shit too, though, and they're R&B anyway, right? So,
oh yeah,
we're good. We're good.
So I creep. Yeah.
Oh man, yo, shit.
That's a classic.
So good.
The whole
man.
album, man. Case of the Fake People, Digging on You, Kick Your Game. The whole album, front to back. I didn't even mention Red Light Special.
Red Light Special, exactly. So good.
Yo, how many high school parties or locked doors all over the place? You hear Red Light Special coming out of the room, like...
right, right. Yo.
And that's a lot of babyface Dallas Austin, who I think then married Chili.
I believe so.
But anyway, yeah. And
I know Usher dated her for a while. That's what the whole Confessions album's about.
Yes, it was. Yeah, he was cheating on her and shit. Just wild. And
now he has herpes. So, let that be a lesson. Let that be another lesson to the kids.
For real?
Don't get herpes.
Yeah. He's got herpes? Damn.
Yeah, but to be fair, it is sex, drugs, and then rock and roll, right? So...
Yeah, fair enough.
You know the rules of the game you're signing up for. Like,
yeah.
Apparently, Usher caught it, and a girl sued him because he passed it on.
Oh.
But I mean, like, it's Usher, man. Like, you get what you get. Like,
listen, everybody has herpes.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, man. Shit, don't go chasing waterfalls, man.
How ungrateful you're gonna call up Rihanna? You gave me a rash. Fuck you. You got to beg Rihanna. Like. Not saying Rihanna would do that, would give that to anybody, but I'm like, yeah, you got to beg Usher. Like, I don't know, man.
No kidding.
Yo, you roll the dice, like.
Legit though, you do, yeah. Shit, I crapped out, as Eddie Murphy would say. Craps. Yo, if there was anybody that you could collaborate with, who would be the number one person you'd like to do like a big time collaboration with?
Oh man, like anybody? That's a good question.
Anybody, like your idol of all, dead or alive. Dead or alive. Yeah, dead and alive.
I always thought singing. I mean, look, I'm really like reaching here, but I think my voice would blend well with Pink because we both kind of have that like bit of rock, but like a bit of like. She kind of started with that R&B. Who, you know what? Another baby face. She was on La Face, actually. Yeah.
That's right.
Looking pitiful just because I let you go. Then you go.
Yeah. No doubt.
But I mean, she's like killing it, man. Yeah. But that would be pretty fucking fantastic.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Pink's dope.
That's great. Yeah, Pink is dope, man. She's got a lot of big hits. Big hits. And she's pretty fly to look at too.
Hell yeah. She's talented too, man. She does the shows with those big long like drapes where she spins and shit.
For sure.
Dude, when I saw her, I think it was American Music Award something. She's singing and crawling up the side of a wall. And it was like a huge building in Vegas or something, like 100 floors. And she's singing live, walking up the side of this wall. And I'm like, okay.
This woman's crazy. Yeah. This is impressive.
Yeah, I'd be gassed looking at the wall. Everybody scream. You just
yeah, right.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Oh man, well that's cool, man. Pink, yeah, that's definitely a big name for sure. She'd be very interesting.
She had a great career, man. She put together. It came out off. It wasn't really what she eventually sounded like, but there were still hits.
Yes.
Yeah. She was like, I think she's like 16 or 17. You know what I mean? People, you get older and you grow, and for sure, you guys too. Like your tastes evolve. You get into different artists and stuff like that. But yeah, no, she's had an incredible career. Yeah.
No, for sure, man. For sure.
Yo, I'm gonna tag her in this post. Yo, Pink, hit up my boy Pat Lehman.
Yo, hit up my boy. Yeah, exactly. No doubt.
I am available.
Yeah,
I am available. Let's go. Yeah. So, what's next for you, man? Tour, time off, back in the studio. What are you thinking?
So I still have like 5 or 6 songs that I'm mixing. That I was like a year ago, I was thinking maybe they'd all be on the same album, but so I'm gonna try to get that. I think that'll be probably coming out in like May. Spring, and then I think what I'll do is I'll do like a string of shows to support the two albums, so it'll kind of be like a live show including the 2 songs. I haven't done any gigs or any performing since like just before the pandemic, so it's been a couple of years, so I'm kind of itching to get back out there, but like I said, I don't really fucks with winter like that, so
I feel you.
I think I'm gonna let that pass, and then spring, summertime next year, I'm gonna get out there again, do some shows.
And we're gonna slang
need
flyers.
to try to get. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Need to try to get you out to the Pig, buddy. I'm telling you, we got a big music scene here, and I think you'd fit in real good with the type of music people like out here. Like,
For
you
sure,
got that.
man.
You
You know,
got.
and
You
I-
literally got that good, like, like outdoor vibe, like chilling on a patio, drinking. You're performing. Everyone's watching. Like, I think it'd be a good time, man. We got a few spots like that in the city that would. I'm almost sure welcome you open arms to do it, man. For sure.
Oh, I would love that. And
I'll
I've
have
never
to try to
been
give
there,
you some of
and
those contacts of those places so that you can reach out at least.
For sure, man. For sure,
World
I appreciate
tour.
that.
Yo, I'm serious though, man. I think you do really well out here, man. Like you would blend in real good with the music scene out here. It's great. It's great.
Well, I got to perform in Calgary a bit and in Toronto a bunch, but I've never been in Winnipeg. So yeah, maybe it's time to go west a little bit.
I'm telling you, man.
Go
we
west,
got a lot of little festivals out here that are awesome, man. For music, it's great, man. Like it's
Nice.
fun. A lot of good vibes out here. People love music out here, man. Live music, especially. Like shit, it's great. It's great, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So I'll be out there doing shows next spring, summer, and hopefully I'll be out there in Winnipeg, man. You never
Like
know.
I said, man, I'll definitely give you the contact information for a few venues for sure, man. That if you're interested, like just to reach out and see if they're willing to get you in on a spot or something,
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
All right, Pat, we're gonna play a game. You ready?
Here we go.
Let's do it.
We do this
Here we
with all
go.
our guests. We call it this or that. It's only hot button
this or
political
that.
topics that's gonna get everybody canceled. We're out here canceling careers. Insightful interviews mixed with just
All right,
saying
cool.
the dumbest stuff in the world. So here we go. No.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
All right. Piano or guitar?
Guitar.
Nice.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm definitely can play the piano a little better than the guitar, but I enjoy playing guitar more, and I think I'm gonna start maybe doing a bit more of it.
Okay.
But yeah, and actually, I learned as a kid, I learned how to play a little bit of guitar before I even touched the piano. So
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man.
yeah,
Excellent. All right. Cool. All right. I can vibe with that. All right. Now, right out of the gate, we got to give you a real tough one. Whitney or Mariah?
Whitney Houston. I think Whitney Houston is like one of the best singers that's ever existed. Yeah,
Right on, buddy. Right on.
yeah.
There is no wrong
Right on.
answer in that question, but that is definitely a right answer. Like, it's got to be Whitney.
Right? Like, come on. One of the
Yeah.
greatest voices in the world, man.
All right. See, that was kind of apples and oranges. This is going to be a little more apples to apples. James Brown or Bruno Mars?
Oh, Brown.
James Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruno Mars is. You know what? Bruno
It's his
Mars,
great
like, when
grandson.
he first came out,
Like generationally.
like, kind of right.
Yeah.
But I was like not into it, and now I mean, you can't deny the guy is like
You're
incredible.
right. Though. I felt the exact same way, man, when it came to Bruno. You know what I
Like,
mean? Like,
yeah.
he had
And
that
his
big
music
hit.
his music just keeps getting better. I find.
Oh man,
Like,
absolutely.
I love that he's doing that kind of vintage.
Right?
Yeah.
So good.
Silk Sonic is so incredible. It's such a game changer. I love every note.
Like,
Oh, it's great.
I'm sure a lot of people have created babies over that album. Like, I'm
Oh,
serious. When I
dude.
listen to that
Oh
album.
yeah.
Like, oh, buddy.
You remember the song Gorilla?
Yeah.
You and me,
Yeah.
baby, making love like gorillas.
Oh, buddy.
All right. Would you rather be on stage or would you rather be in the studio?
Ooh,
On stage.
Right.
nice.
Yeah, studio is fun, but I've done it, and it's long and tedious,
Mhm.
and I have a hard time focusing for a long time.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Okay.
So yeah, but stage is fun, and like you get to connect with people, and there's definitely an energy like in the room when you're doing a show, even if it's a small room, big room, and you get to meet people, and it's just I don't know, there's something about like when I go to a concert now, and like whether it's an orchestra or a rock band, and you're listening, you're like, man, this is humans doing this right now,
Yeah.
like it's
Hell yeah.
it still kind of impresses me. I don't know, so
Yeah, man.
live
for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah,
Because it's
for sure.
amazing.
Cool.
All of it's amazing. Live
is.
music is
It is.
untouchable.
It's literally when I see a live band play or something, right? It gives me like this. It's like this natural high, man. You know what I mean? Like, it brings a
Yeah.
smile to my face. I love it. I love it. I don't know. It's so
something
good.
to look forward to. It brings
So
people
good.
together, and you know what? It's never going to be replaced. Like there'll always be bands. There will always be in
Always.
different forms. That there will always be musicians.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Cake or pie?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go pie.
See, I'm a pie guy too.
Yo,
I'm going
same.
pie.
What's your go-to?
Yeah. I like a blueberry pie. I'm not gonna lie.
I love a
I like
blueberry
an
pie
apple
too.
pie.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I'm
a
a, I'm a,
blueberry pie.
I'm a good lemon meringue myself,
Ooh.
man. I like a good lemon meringue.
No, lemon meringue. That is my
Bro.
birthday pie. Is that a pie though?
That's a
Yeah,
pie.
that's a pie.
That's a
Lemon meringue
pie.
pie.
Absolutely, that's a pie.
On my
bro.
birthday, I don't like cake. Taryn always gets me a pie.
That's
She
beautiful.
gets me a
man.
cherry pie for Christmas, and that's not like
Cherry
a dirty
pie.
joke. Like she actually gets me a cherry pie for my birthday every year.
I've had a couple of my friends actually bought me on my birthday. I think it was 2 years ago, a lemon meringue pie, and I ate that whole thing myself.
Yeah, you
Fucking
did.
A, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sometimes though, I give up on the meringue, and I get after the lemon and the crust.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love the crust.
Sometimes the
I love
meringue
crust,
gets a
man.
little too much.
Oh man.
All right. Would you rather have a sip or have a smoke?
A smoke.
Nice.
Because we love Mary here on Into the North.
We do. We do.
I mean, what else are you gonna do in the winter, right?
Yeah,
And then all the other seasons as well.
exactly. Oh yeah. Otis Redding or Usher?
Otis Redding. I'm an old school guy. Like I love like respect
man.
to Usher and all that, but I love old. Like to me, my first love is 60s, 70s soul music. Can't beat it.
Beautiful.
That's
man.
why you're on
Beautiful.
this show, Pat. Like, yes, we get
Yes,
it,
dude.
All three of us,
Yes,
we
dude.
get it.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, all right.
What's
all
your?
right.
Let me ask you. Okay, now, yeah,
No,
I'll
go
ask-
ahead.
I'm
No,
gonna.
no, go
I
ahead.
got a question. What is your favorite music to spin? Like, what do you? I know you love hip hop and all that, but do you have like a preference on what when you're DJing?
It depends on the crowd. If I have a crowd that's
Okay.
gonna care all night long, it would be Motown, soul, funk from like the '60s to like the early '80s, like right around Cameo and Prince,
Oh,
Nice.
okay, yeah.
or
Nice.
or dancehall music.
Yeah.
If I got a
Nice.
if I got a dancehall crowd, I'll play dancehall for 4 hours and I'll love every
Nice.
second of it.
What would you
But
say? What would you say is easier to mix though, Grant? You know what I mean?
Dancehall, but you got rhythms, man. You got 7
It is,
songs
eh?
on the same
Okay.
beat, and
All
you
right.
just
Cool,
if you
cool,
cut
fair
them
enough.
quick, like it's a dope
Yeah.
6 minutes. And but you know,
Like-
but it all depends on mood too. You know, like when I DJ around 2:10 ish, because like at the bar I DJ at, like usually around 2:45 is the last song. So around 2:10 ish, if I got the right crowd, I play emo music, and I'll play like "Shake It" by Metro Station. I'll play like 303, "Don't Trust Me," and then I'll play
But
like
you know what? Those are good. Those are good tracks you can actually dance to either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like-
Like, you can actually get the crowd going with that.
yeah, Dear Maria,
can.
Count Me In. I'll play I Write Sins Not Tragedies. I'll play like
Nice.
Sugar We're Going
Nice.
Down. Maybe like Skater Boy and like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And the crowd still responds to that stuff. They really like it. You play Scotty Doesn't Know from Euro Trip. People still go off.
That's usually when Grant goes
Classic.
on. That's usually when Grant posts a story on Facebook.
Yep,
It's at, like,
2:15,
2:10,
feeling good.
yeah.
The email's going.
Grant's got a smile on his face and he's got the tracks playing. Oh, it's good. It's
Close
good,
with
yeah.
Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. You know what I mean? So it all depends on the vibe and the people in the room. But like when I do weddings,
Yeah.
it's the best because up front, I get to play Luther Vandross and I get to play Stevie Wonder, and then at the back end, I could be playing Drake and Vibes Cartel. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wiggle room.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And also old classic hip hop from the '90s. You know what I mean? All that stuff blends like,
Cool.
Yeah.
and it's what I came up with. You know, it's just
Yep.
you need It's hard to DJ for a massive crowd where you got some 45-year-olds, but you got 18-year-olds.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
45-year-olds
Totally.
might be hip to what the 18-year-old wants to hear. The 18-year-old doesn't give a fuck. They're like, this is my dad's music, and not in a good
Yep.
way. You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. That's the truth.
But yeah, man, dancehall music or Motown for sure. And speaking of Motown,
Nice.
Big Michael or Little Michael?
Grant, you're freezing.
Yeah.
Am I
That's the
good?
first time actually.
Grant, you just froze. You're like,
So who do you prefer, Big Michael or Little Michael?
Jackson? We're talking about Jackson?
There is no other Michael, of
Oh,
course.
you're talking about like
Little Michael,
Jackson 5 versus Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
yeah, Little Michael or
Okay.
Big Michael.
Yeah, that's hard.
not the guy, but
I don't,
like the
I don't know
artist.
why I was thinking Michael Jordan. I was thinking Michael Jackson versus Michael Jordan. I'm like, I don't even. What do we? Yeah. Okay. That's tough, man. I fucking love Motown and like all that, and like you realize he was like a child, like a kid. It's just crazy. Like I still get blown away by that, but I really do like. I'm gonna say Michael Jackson. because I really
Big
like.
Michael.
Big Michael. Yeah,
I mean,
Big
it's
Michael.
controversial and whatever, but like some good music, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
we're just talking about music. Like, want to be starting something is a favorite. I mean, there's so many. I mean, so many tunes. Yeah,
PYT,
the last album I
Man in
bought
the
of his-
Mirror.
yeah,
Yeah.
Man in the
for
Mirror,
sure.
man. Like I forgot about that one.
So good.
But
If you want to make the
even,
world
man,
a
there was
better
some-
place, take a look at yourself and make a change.
You know, yeah.
Na 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 na.
I seen a video, a music video yesterday of, or was it yesterday or Friday, of what was that track with him and Paul McCartney again?
The girl's
Oh
mine.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, I seen the music video to it, and I haven't seen it in forever. Right?
It's
It was
goofy.
playing on the. Oh man, it's really odd, really odd.
Well, that must be like the fifth music video ever made. Like that was like
Yeah.
early days of music videos. I think
Pretty much,
Absolutely.
yeah. That was early 80s, I think, I believe, or was that even late 70s? Maybe I can't remember. Either or, it was around
Girl
there.
Is Mine is
Yeah.
on Thriller,
Yeah.
That was
so
good, though.
it was
It
in
was good.
'83.
That's a great track. Great track.
Would you rather lose your ability to play instruments or lose your ability to sing?
Instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, cool.
Because the
Yeah,
voice is
instruments
directly
because-
connected to the heart.
I guess, man. You know, I mean, I just think it's cool. I don't think singers are better than there's whatever. Every musician is needed. But it is kind of cool. I've thought about this. I'm like, man, if the whole world exploded or whatever, I could still sing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't have a drum or a guitar or you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
yeah. Anyway, not to get too deep with that question, but that's fine.
No, I got you. All right. This is I'm wondering your take because one is a little different than the other, but still cut from the same cloth. NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys?
Oh man, saved the best for last, eh? Dude, I don't know. That was like my sister had all those CDs, but you know what? I will say I fucks with Backstreet's Back, man. I
Hell
dig
yeah.
that song. I don't mind that song.
That's a hit.
Yeah, I guess because of that, Backstreet Boys. I guess.
Yeah, Backstreet Boys were like they could actually harmonize and do like the like the Boyz II Men style. Everyone contributes to the sound. Whereas
Right.
NSYNC, it was the two big dogs, and I feel like the other guys were just kind of filler. It was JT and
Guess
JC,
so, right?
and then not that they didn't add
You
to
know
like
what?
the harmonies and shit, but like the five Backstreet Boys were a sound. NSYNC wasn't that.
Yeah, and I think Backstreet was like first. No,
Slightly, yes.
I think then. Yeah, you know what's funny, man? You just made me realize I was in Hollywood once for a little bit, and I actually got hired to sing at NSYNC's when they got their like Walk of Fame on the Star on the Walk of Fame.
No way.
They had like an after party, and I got hired to sing at it, and everyone was there except for Justin Timberlake. He didn't even show up to the party.
No
Aw.
way.
Which I mean, I guess he's got other things going on, but yeah. But Mr. Belding was there, and Gabourey Sidibe, who plays Precious, was there
Yeah.
of all people.
She was
But
in Tower
Justin
Heist.
Timberlake
She was
was
great in
not.
Tower Heist.
Yeah, man.
I didn't see that one.
It's Eddie Murphy, I think Ben Stiller. It's
Oh
a heist
yes,
movie.
yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
BSG.
wife would die to meet Justin Timberlake. Like, actually, no, she met him. I think she met him
I
at
mean,
HMV.
Did she?
Yeah, back in the day.
Really?
She definitely met the Backstreet
Oh,
Boys.
that's cool.
Oh yeah.
One of my exes went to go see Adele when it was just her and an acoustic guitar
Oh,
at like
dope.
some tiny little venue, and then like a year later she blew up with
Yeah.
Rolling in the
Nice.
Deep, and yeah, that's cool, man.
That's
Nice,
fantastic.
nice.
And our last question of the night. Actually, it's not a question. It's a statement. You're coming back next time. We are so happy to have you. Pat Lehman, thank you
Yes.
so much for coming into the North. You were a fantastic guest tonight.
Hey,
Pat.
thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah,
Seriously.
man.
It's been a pleasure
Really,
to finally put a face to the music, man.
Yeah, man.
Nice to meet you, man. For real.
yeah,
Really
you
nice.
too, guys. I really appreciate it, and let me tell my story, and hopefully I'll be back, man. Hopefully
Yeah,
with the
man.
next album.
For
Yeah,
sure,
man.
absolutely. We'll definitely have you back on, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll be
Absolutely.
in
And,
touch for that stuff in the springtime. But yeah, whenever you want to come back, talk music, talk whatever, you're always welcome into the North. You're now one of our alumni.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Alumni. No,
Thank you
alumni.
guys so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're good.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
So the
Yeah,
album
man.
is
You have
Sun XO. Just came out a couple of weeks ago
yep.
on all digital
Get it
streaming
on.
platforms.
Yes, yes. We will have a link up for it too.
Yeah, we're gonna put all your info in the description. Anything
Yes,
you
man.
wanna pump right before you leave, Pat?
Yeah, no, I mean, people can follow me. It's Instagram, Patrick Lehman, though, because Patrick Lehman was taken. And that motherfucker hasn't posted a picture in like 7 years, but that's all right. Patrick Lehman, though, Instagram, Facebook is LehmanXo on Facebook. And yeah, that's it. And I'll be doing some shows next year. And
Cool, man.
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Again, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Corey Chan, you
Thanks
got
for coming
anything
on.
you want to say before we head out?
You know what? This has been great, man. Like I love doing this music stuff with this podcast, man. I really do. This has been great. This has been what, our second now, Grant, our second musical singer, right?
Shacky, Willie, Pat,
Willie too. Yes, that's right. That's right. 3 people.
I don't think I'm leaving anybody out.
No, I don't think so. I don't
Anyways,
think
there's
so,
going to
man.
be a whole lot more. So once again, Patrick Lehman, thank you so much. Follow him wherever you can. Listen to his tunes. And
Yes.
yeah, this has been
Again.
episode. This is gonna be a 2-parter. So episode 34 and 35. We're rolling out here.
Yeah, it's 35. Yeah, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on again, Val.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
So for Corey Chan out there in Winnipeg, for my buddy Patrick Lehman here in Montreal, I'm Don the Jeweler. Stay safe, take care of each other, and say goodnight to the bad guys. We out.